Few cars have come to define a brand quite like the original Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG. The sledgehammer sedan instantly raised eyebrows when it first landed in 2008, winning over fans with a simple yet effective formula of shoehorning a large engine into a relatively compact muscle car-like shell. For 2015 though, Mercedes-AMG has tweaked that formula. Gone is the large naturally aspirated V8 engine and the hard-edge suspension, and replaced with what it says is a better rounded package. So we're at the home of motorsport in Australia, Mount Panorama in Bathurst, to see whether it lives up to the hype. On sale in Australia from August, the C63 is the recipient of some major changes which reflect tightening emission targets and changing buyer demands. Chief among those is a new 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8 that raises outputs to a supercar like 375 kilowatts of power and 700 newton meters of torque. Adjustable engine mounts which stiffen in sportier driving, adaptive suspension, a limited slip diff and powerful brakes are also standard inclusions in a package that looks and means business. But what's equally impressive about this car is that it manages to do all of that stuff while still being a very, very compliant road car, and that's where the old 63 used to struggle a bit. It was very raw and hard edged, particularly in its ride, but happy to say a lot of that has been ironed out now. You've got a very nice everyday road car. Of course, this is based on the everyday C class, which of course was a great thing on its own. AMG have simply gone and tweaked that formula and produced what is a much better rounded car. The new engine features 2 turbochargers mounted on the inside of the cylinder banks instead of the outside, like a traditional turbocharged engine. The configuration brings a more instant throttle response, helping the new C63 accelerate to 100 km an hour from rest in just 4 seconds flat. There's even a loud button in the form of a bimodal exhaust which evokes a rich V8 soundtrack. Turn on the bimodal exhaust and that 4-litre engine really comes to life. I think there are a lot of cynics out there questioning whether Mercedes could really emulate the hot rod soundtrack of the old 6.2 litre V8. Well, I think they've definitely mastered it. The fact that you can turn off the bimodal exhaust, you can soften the suspension, lighten the steering, and drive a car that will consume about 8 litres per 100 k's claimed in everyday driving is phenomenal. And in that regard, this car is much better rounded than its predecessor. You can see why Mercedes-Benz have gone this path. On a challenging Bathurst layout, the C63 proves to be right at home. The electrically assisted steering offers good on-centre feel, there is an excellent turn-in response and miles of lateral grip, and the vehicle proves stable even at speeds approaching 250 km an hour. And just like its predecessor, the engine is a particular highlight. Now, even though it may be missing that large 6.2 litre V8, you hardly notice it out on the road. Not only is it more efficient, but there's just as much torque from down low, it's more usable, and the relationship between the transmission and the engine is better altogether. Same goes for the rest of the car. It's much more forgiving than the old 63, particularly the 507 edition. The steering works really well, you've got quite good lateral grip, and around a circuit like Mount Panorama you can begin to explore the limits of this car. It is a really well-resolved machine, and I think it definitely lives up to the hallmarks of the legend. It is bound to be a terrific car. The C63 will be in hot demand like its predecessor too, with 300 Australian buyers lined up before the vehicle even goes on sale in August. Vindication that the latest AMG muscle car truly lives up to the hype.